Record predictor for this season. So I have put tiers here with different records, different win totals. So I have top ones, 13 plus wins. So 13 and above, 10 to 13 wins, 7 to 10 wins, 3 to 7 wins, and 0 to 3 wins. That is my criteria. That's what I feel like is the most plausible. Let's get into the 2023 record predictions. So, number one, who we have as the first team here? We've got the LA Rams. So, Matt Stafford coming back from that major injury. Stetson Bennett's also the backup quarterback. Traded away Jalen Ramsey in the offseason. Cooper Kupp's coming back from injury. I don't know how to feel about this team. I feel like they're going to be either pretty good or very mediocre. But I'm more comfortable putting the Rams in the 7 to 10 range just because of their injury history. They have not been able to stay, relatively healthy. So I feel more comfortable with putting the Rams at the 7 to 10 range. Plus, Aaron Donald's most likely his last year with the Rams, if not in the league. I think 7 to 10 is more comfortable. I'm leaning more so at the 7 to 8 range than I am the 9 and 10. But that's just my opinion. Next up, we've got the Arizona Cardinals. The new dumpster fire of the NFL. Kyler Murray injured. They have Josh Dobbs as their backup quarterback after getting rid of Colt McCoy. Their running back situation's not the best. Receiver room's not the best. Traded away Isaiah Simmons for a bag of peanuts to the Giants. I still think they're going to go into 3 to 7 range, though. I don't see them being below 3 to 7. I think I might delete this tier, to be honest with you. I think 0 to 3 might be a little bit too much because I don't know if I see any team finishing below 3 wins. But yeah, 3 to 7 wins. Like I said, I think they have a little bit of talent. I think they're gonna probably finish like 4 and 13, 5 and 12. I'm not impressed with what they have done in the offseason. They're definitely tanking for Caleb Williams, or at least one of those quarterbacks from college. I don't know what they're going to do with Kyler. I've always thought Kyler has been a little bit overrated. I don't see them having any success this season. I don't see them having any success. That also leads to the other bird team that's going to suck this year with Desmond Ridder as their starting quarterback. Falcons definitely going 3 and 7. These guys, they're so frustrating because they have a lot of talent. They have a lot of talented guys on this roster. Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson they just drafted, Cordero Patterson, Drake London, AJ Terrell. They can never put it together. Ever since that Super Bowl where they blew that lead 28-3, they have never recovered. The Atlanta Falcons have never recovered from 28-3. And again, this year, I'm not that high on Desmond Ridder. My dad likes Desmond Ridder. He wanted Desmond Ridder as a bench piece last season. I'm not seeing anything new with the Falcons. I think they're a 5 and 12, 6 and 11 team at best. I think that's what they're going to be. I don't see any way that the Falcons can be more successful than that. I just don't. And it sucks because I think the Falcons can be good. They have the talent around them. They just don't have a quarterback. That's the problem. They haven't had a quarterback since Matt Ryan left. And, hey, you get what you get with that. But Anyways, let's move on with the Baltimore Ravens. This one, I think the three teams that I am so confused about and so, I don't want to say puzzled by them. I don't know where to put them. That one of those teams is the Baltimore Ravens because I think, like, if I have to be honest, I want to put them up here. Like, I feel like we should put them up here. But at the same time, I feel like they can go down here as well. Like, I can see them finishing 9-8. And I can also see them finishing 10-7 and 11-6. I feel like their thing is so wide where they can either finish 8-9 to 11-6. That's that like sweet spot with me for the Ravens. You know, you have Odell Beckham, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. The running back room's there. Marlon Humphrey's injured again for a month. I might put them in the 7-10. I think they're in the high spot. I think they're above LA. I'm gonna put them more so in the 9-8, 10-7 range. It all stems on what Lamar does and how Lamar performs. Obviously, Todd Monken's the new OC over there. Maybe we'll see him pass more rather than run, because they were absolutely run heavy the times that the last offensive coordinator was there. I mean, we'll see what happens with Baltimore, but I feel more confident putting them at 10-7. I can't see them. I can't see them being above 10-13. I can't do that. I cannot see them being in that 10-13 range. I'm more so I can live with 7-10 with being 9-8. I can definitely see that. But let's go on with the Buffalo Bills. I think some people are going to get mad at me, and it's because I think they can make it to the Super Bowl. I'm going to put them to 10-13. I think they're going to regress a little bit this year. I see them going 12-5. I think this is Josh Allen's do or die moment for me and for a lot of people. And I think this is Sean McDermott's do or die moment for a lot of people as well, because the last couple of years they have had a lot of success in the regular season, but they cannot get over that hump in the playoffs. Whether it's Kansas City or Cincinnati, they cannot get over that hump. And when I did those streams last season with the playoffs, they were struggling to beat Skylar Thompson, the third string quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. They were struggling to beat them in the playoffs. And I've said this too. I think Josh Allen is the new version of Aaron Rodgers. The guy has an immense arm, great arm talent, great in the regular season. But come playoff time, the dude is a choke artist. It's unfortunate, but it's true. I feel like they're going to go 12-5. I still have them coming out of the AFC. I think this is going to be their year. But I think they're going to regress in terms of record, and I think it's probably going to benefit them more regressing than giving them the false hope of being 14-3 or 13-4 or any of those other things. But let's go on with the Carolina Panthers. Carolina, I think, is going to go 3-7 in that 3-7 range. I'd probably put them probably in the middle. Actually, no, I'm going to put them behind the Falcons. I think they're probably going to go 4-13, 5-12. Bryce Young, I think, is going to have a rude awakening, in the NFL just because of his size. You also have Adam Thielen there, Robbie Anderson. They just cut. They got some pieces there, especially on the offensive line. Defensively, they got some pieces. But I think it's just going to take time for them. And I just don't see them really doing much this season. I'd be shocked if they do anything at all. The most I can see them doing, or at least the best I can see them doing, is going up into this tier, going up into like 7-10. That's like the best case scenario for me with the Carolina Panthers. But yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a pretty tough year for them, especially with Bryce Young as a rookie quarterback. I don't expect anything huge from them. Um, but yeah, that's just my opinion with the Carolina Panthers. But moving on with the Chicago Bears, everybody loves Justin Fields. They love Justin Fields in the national media and in the NFL. But we can be honest here. The guy is not that great of a passer. He's not that great of a passer. He can make one or two highlight plays, but that is it. And everything around him is terrible. See, this is another one. I don't know whether to put them in 3-7 or 7-10. I think they're more so 3-7. I'll probably put them second behind the Arizona Cardinals. I think they'll probably go 6-11 this season. They've got some pieces and parts on this team, but it's so spread out. I don't see what other people see in Justin Fields. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's like the second coming of Michael Vick like some other people think because he can make some highlight plays on the run. I don't see it. I think they're more so like a 6-11 team. That's just my opinion. But Cincinnati Bengals. Again. Do I want to put them in 10-13? I want to put them in 10-13. I might put them in 12. I think I'm going to put them 13 plus. I think they're going to go 13 wins. I think they're going to go 13 wins. I think they're going to go 13-4. I think they're going to lose to us in the home opener because notoriously they start slow. But I think they're going to hit their stride like they did last season. After they went 2-2, they literally racked up like 11 straight wins. I mean, they were going nuts last season. Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, great receiving core. Their defense has improved a lot. The only thing that I don't know about and I'm questioning them about is their defensive back room. Because they lost a lot of guys this season, or this offseason, in terms of free agency and trades and all that other stuff. They lost a lot of guys. So I think that's their biggest question mark right now is their defensive back room. But I think when you have an offense like they do, they can just absolutely go nuts. And I definitely feel like they have the capability to go 13-4. But now the moment we've all been waiting for: Cleveland Browns. Probably my most frustrating team to predict. Because if you think they're going to suck, sometimes they do good. And if you think they're going to do good, they always suck. I know I might be a homer, but I'm going to put them at 10-7. I'm going to put them at 10-7. I think, Deshaun Watson is notorious for starting slow. I feel like the Browns can go 10-7. I really do. I definitely think that we can go 10-7. I think with Nick Chubb coming back, the offense has been totally revamped under Kevin Stefanski. Elijah Moore playing out of the backfield, becoming a diet Deebo Samuel. Amari Cooper, revamped defensive line with that wide 9 technique from Jim Schwartz. Great defensive back room. I mean, on paper, like I said, this is when we were talking about the speak segment. You separate the best team from the best roster. Best team is the Cincinnati Bengals. Best roster on paper for the last 5 years in the division has been the Cleveland Browns. I think they're going to do well this season. I think Deshaun Watson, when you have a full off season to work and focus mainly on football, to focus on your techniques, focus on your footwork, your accuracy, your chemistry with the guys on this team. 10-7, I think, is really good. I definitely think 11-6 is their ceiling. I don't see them getting more than 11 wins. I'd be shocked if they get more than 11 wins this season. I think they're in the range like Baltimore is in, where they are pretty much in that 8 and 9 to 11-6 range. I think we're right in the same situation that Baltimore is in right now in terms of predicting and what our team can be. But that's just me. All right, next up, you got everybody, America's favorite team to root against, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know how to feel about the Dallas Cowboys. Because Dak, I don't trust Dak. I don't. I don't trust Dak. I think Dak is overrated. I think he's in the same tier as Kirk Cousins. But I think they're going to go 10-7. I think they're going to go 10-7. I think. Actually, no. I'm going to put them ahead of the Browns. They might go 11-6. They might go 11-6. They got talent. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. Deuce Vaughn's been showing out really good for them as a rookie. Tony Pollard. Trayvon Diggs. Micah Parsons. They got talent. And especially against a crappy NFC, I think they're going to have success. But they're just still going to go out in the first or second round of the playoffs. Let's be honest here. They're not going to do anything. Every single year, we always have to hear about how the Dallas Cowboys are going to go back to the Super Bowl, man. We're going back to the Super Bowl. We're the Dallas freaking Cowboys, man. We're going back to the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott's the best quarterback in the NFL, man. And then they get bounced out by San Francisco every year. And the world rejoices because the Dallas Cowboys and their fans are so annoying. They're so annoying. They're so annoying. And I could say that because we know someone who's a Dallas Cowboys fan. We know someone. So, Dallas Cowboys fans are so annoying. I hate the Cowboys. They're probably one of my least favorite teams and they're most favorite to root against. But here we go. Denver Broncos. Sean Payton, new head coach, criticizing the old boss. God damn. I need water, man. My throat is absolutely destroyed right now. Russell Wilson coming off of a horrible year. Legitimately, most of their wide receivers have either gone out injured or they're sick. I'm going to put them over here, right behind the Ravens. I think they're going to go 8-9 this season. I think they're going to be better than last season, but they're not going to be that much better. I think Russ is cooked. I think they're just in denial. Russ is cooked. They don't have wide receivers because they're all injured. Their defense is mediocre at best. I mean, I think the Broncos are not going to be that good. I know a lot of people in the media hyped them up incessantly last season, and I said, I don't see the hype on the Broncos because they do not have a better receiving core. They don't have that great of a receiving core. Who's he going to throw to? Jerry Jeudy? Jerry Jeudy drops a lot of passes. Cortland Sutton's like the only good one on that team to me. But they're all injured. They're all injured. Tim Patrick's out for the year with an ACL injury. KJ Hamler had to leave because of a heart issue. So, I don't know. I think 7-10 is the best range. I think they're going to go 8-9. I think that's the best way to put it. I think that's the best way to put them. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions. I think everybody is rooting for the Lions this season. Dan Campbell, Jared Goff. I think I'm going to put them, right here. I'm going to put them ahead of the Denver Broncos. I think they're going to go 9-8. I think the Lions are going to go 9-8. I think they're going to make that wild card spot in the NFC. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I'm going to say Detroit makes the playoffs this season. I definitely think that. I think Jared Goff's there. You have, what's his name? Jameson Williams. The other receiver they just drafted. I think that this team is going to surprise a lot of people. They have always been tough to beat. They've always been tough to play against. And I think that they're going to surprise a lot of people and make the playoffs. I think they're going to go 9-8 and they're going to make the playoffs. And I'll be very excited to root for them because I love the Lions. I think the Lions deserve to be in the playoffs. Also, Lake Erie Alliance. The Lake Erie Alliance, you have to root for the Lake Erie Alliance. Hey, sweet Chris, welcome. Welcome. Happy to have you guys out here. Appreciate you guys. Next up, we've got the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love is at the helm. He has taken over for Aaron Rodgers, who we will get to in a couple of minutes. Green Bay. Oh. I'm going to put them above the Broncos. I think they're going to go probably 7-10. Or no, what? I had the Broncos at 8-9, right? Okay, so we're going to go. I'll put them behind the Broncos. I think they're going to go 7-10. I think they're going to fall off from what they have been used to with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. They've literally had back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I think Jordan Love's going to be a rude awakening for them. And yeah, I definitely don't see them getting more than 7 wins. I think they could probably get 8 or 9 if they can upset a couple of teams, but I think this is the Vikings division. And yeah, I think the Vikings are going to have some success this season, but we'll get into them later on. But now we got the Houston Texans. Definitely 3-7. I want to put them above the Panthers. I think they're going to do better than the Panthers. I think I had the Panthers at 4-13, 3-13, or no, 3-14. I think I had the Panthers at 3-14. I think they're going to be slightly better than the Panthers because I think they have more talent, especially defensively. I think the Texans are probably going to go 4-13, 5-12. I don't see them getting more than that because I see, Falcons getting 6-11, Bears getting 6-11. I see Cardinals probably get 6-11 as well. Yeah, I think 4 or 5 wins for the Texans. I think that's a pretty good season for them. The other team that you got here, the Indianapolis Colts. My God, what a train wreck. Jim Irsay. What a train wreck by Jim Irsay. I mean, the guy just could not keep his mouth shut. Legitimately, if he did keep his mouth shut, and I agree with the urinating tree on this one, if Jim Irsay just kept his mouth shut about the running back situation, Jonathan Taylor would be playing. Jonathan Taylor 100% would be playing for the Colts right now. But Jim Irsay and his coke addiction, allegedly, just could not shut him up. Anthony Richardson at the helm. They're tanking. They're tanking. They're tanking. There's no other way about it. There's no other. You cannot say otherwise. I'm going to put them in between. I think they're going to go 6-11 at best. Probably in that 4-6 win range because they're tanking. They're not trying to win. I think Anthony Richardson's going to have some success. I also think he's going to be wholly thrown into the fire. But yeah, I mean, I don't see them doing anything this season. I think they're going to have to wait a couple of seasons to get their turn. But we'll see how that turns out. We'll see what happens with Jonathan Taylor. Hopefully they trade him, and hopefully he can play this season because the Colts are doing him very dirty. And if you guys have not seen my video about that and about all the drama, make sure you guys go see that after this episode is over. But here we go. Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to put them in the same boat as the Browns. I think they're going to go 10-7. I think they're going to go 10-7. I see them winning the AFC South. I think they're going to do very well. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to perform pretty well once again. I could see them hosting a playoff game at the bank, or the TIA Bank Field. I think they have a lot of talent. Getting Calvin Ridley, I think was a steal for them. I think him and Christian Kirk can be a pretty decent 1-2 combo for them. They have Evan Ingram. I forget their name. Travis Etienne has been pretty good for them as well. I think they got a lot of talent, and I'll be rooting for them as well. I think they are probably going to go 10-7, and I think they're going to win the AFC South. But next up, you got the new Holy Roman Empire. After coming out of the ashes of the Roman Empire, which was the New England Patriots, the Holy Roman Empire of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, third plus 13. I mean, there's nothing you can say or do that will convince me that Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs will not win more than 13 games this season. Patrick Mahomes is probably one of the best quarterbacks, going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. I think this guy is probably going to get at least 2 more rings. I mean, the guy is just insane. I literally equate him to the Steph Curry of the NFL. I mean, the guy just pulls plays out of his ass, and you just go like, how the hell did he do that? I mean, that's Patrick Mahomes. I don't need to say anything else about the Chiefs. They're going to go 13 plus wins. There's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. But here we go. What else we got? LA Chargers. The Chargers, legitimately the last couple of years, everybody has been kneeling at the altar of Justin Herbert. They have been praying to their deity, their long-haired deity in Justin Herbert, who, if you guys should probably know my feelings about Justin Herbert. I think he's overrated. I think he's basically Matt Stafford 2.0 with the Lions. Brandon Staley is an inept dude. We've all known this. Chargers, basically the LA Clippers of the NFL. They can never get past like the first round of the playoffs. I'm not that high on Justin Herbert. I think he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I think he's good, but I think that the media overhype him to hell. I don't think he's like the 5th best quarterback in the league. I definitely think he's probably on the lower end of the top 10 tier. But LA Chargers, with their talent, they should be up here. They should be up here, right next to the Buffalo Bills in terms of like 12-5, 11-6, but they always underperform. I'm going to have to put them right here with the Lions. That's my most realistic prediction, because the Chargers never, ever, ever get past like 9 wins. They never do, even with all of the talent. They still somehow find ways to charger. That's all they do. That's all they ever do. I definitely think 9-8 is probably my most realistic prediction. If they live up to their expectation and their talent, they should be up here. They should be right here at like 11-6, 12-5. But they're not, so they're going to go right down here, right next to Baltimore, right next to the Lions, and 9-8. That's where they're going to go. Next up, you got the Miami Dolphins. Again, I definitely think they're going to go 10-7. I think they're going to go 10-7. I think Tua's lucky to even be playing still with what he's been dealing with. I don't think that they're going to be, insane this season. Jalen Ramsey's out till December, their new acquisition that they got. I mean, I'm still not sold on Tua. And I'm just worried about what his condition is going to be this season with what he's suffered last season with the 3 concussions in a year. Less than a year. But it's insane. Next up, you've got a team that likes to think they're good, but they're not really that good, even though that they ball out in the regular season. Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to put them behind the Cowboys. I think they're going to go 11-6. But once again, they're going to get bounced in the playoffs. Kirk Cousins is a decent quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Don't let the media and all these other guys fool you in thinking that Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. They just don't do anything in the playoffs. They don't. The Minnesota Vikings are going to go 11-6, like everybody said last season. They went 13-4 or whatever, some insane amount of wins. Everybody, including me, was saying, do not trust the Minnesota Vikings. They are a paper tiger. They are not tough at all to beat. And what happened? the freaking New York Giants and Daniel Jones beat them. I'm not sold on the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're going to win the NFC North because the NFC North is a weak division this season. I think the Detroit Lions are the most competition that they're ever going to have to win this division. But I think they're going to go 11-6, but I think they're going to get bounced in the playoffs. I don't know if it's going to be with Dallas. I don't know who they're going to face in the playoffs, but I think they're going to get bounced by whoever they face in the playoffs because I don't trust Kirk Cousins or the Vikings in the playoffs. I just don't. All right, next up, you've got the New England Patriots, the ruins of the Roman Empire that have been sacked by Tom Brady. I'm going to go 7-10. I'm going to put them in 7-10. I think Mac Jones is a mid quarterback at best. He's got injury issues. They, re-signed Bailey Zappi to the practice squad. Their number one receiver is Juju Smith-Schuster. Good luck with that. They don't really have a kicker. I mean, I don't see them doing much this season. I think they're going to struggle. I dare to say this might be Bill's last season coaching the Patriots, whether it's through retirement or he gets fired. Because, let's be honest, the last couple of years have not been good for the Patriots at all. I just don't see them being that good. I think they're 7-10 at best. But next up, we got the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr is there. Again, I don't see them being... I think they're 8-9. I don't see them being that great of a team. I don't. I think Derek Carr is a quarterback where he plays very well, but for some reason, he just can never get over the hump in the playoffs. He can never do it. Derek Carr, I think, is a pretty decent quarterback. I think he's a fringe top 10 quarterback. I think he's in the tier where it's Dak and Kirk and then him. I think he's in that space. But he just, for whatever reason, he had that one MVP season. I think, his second season in the NFL or his rookie year. One of the two. But he just can never get over the hump. He can never do it. I don't understand why. But I think they're going to go 8-9. That's all I see from them. That's all I can see from the New Orleans Saints. Here, let's read some of the chat here. Sweet Chris of mine, I also think it's interesting because Lamar and Herbert are held at different standards as far as criticism is concerned. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's the same thing because I think overall, Lamar Jackson is a better athlete, right? Lamar Jackson is a better athlete than Justin Herbert. Herbert's a better passer by far than Lamar. But I totally agree with you, Chris, because for some reason, Justin Herbert has been in like ESPN's and Fox's top 5 quarterbacks. Like he's been like number 5. What has he done? What, he broke the rookie touchdown record? Cool. You know who else did that? Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield did that too. I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. He's not top 5. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's not a top 5 quarterback. He is a good quarterback. But my God, they are overhyping him. They've been overhyping him for the last couple of years. He's a good quarterback. That's it. That's it. He's not elite. He's not elite. He's done nothing. He has done nothing in the league. He went to the playoffs. He had a 27-0 lead. And he couldn't do anything in the second half. He had 5 turnovers given to him by Trevor Lawrence. And he still didn't do anything with it after the second half. He didn't add any points. It was 29-27. They didn't score a single point in the second half. If they did, they probably scored a touchdown. I don't know. But like, you get what I'm saying, right? What has Justin Herbert done to deserve a spot in the top 5 conversation? He hasn't, in my opinion. I don't see why. Everybody hypes up Justin Herbert. And yes, sweet Chris, NFC South is going to be weak as hell. For sure. It's not a good division this season. It's not. And it hasn't been for a long time. All right, next up, you got the New York Giants. Let's be honest here. Why in God's name did the New York Giants think it was a good decision to pay Daniel Jones over $150 million? Are you kidding me? Whose decision was that? Was it Maras? Was it Joe Maras or whatever his name is? Did he give the thumbs up on re-signing Daniel Jones for that much? Guys, Daniel Jones' best season was last season. You want to know what his stat line was? 3,200 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks. Brian Daboll literally game planned around not having Daniel Jones hold the ball. That was his game plan. They're going to be good. They'll go 10-7. They'll go 10-7. But if you think Daniel Jones is the QB of the future, you're wrong. They're only going to go 10-7 because of the talent around Daniel Jones. That's it. Daniel Jones is not going to get you anywhere. He's not. He had a good game against the Vikings. Don't get me wrong. He did. He had a good game against the Vikings. But let's not kid ourselves. Daniel Jones does not deserve that money. He literally sucked. He has sucked so bad before last season. I'm not listening to it. I'm not listening to the whole revival and renaissance and redemption arc of Daniel Jones. He's not that good. He's not a good quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. You cannot convince me otherwise. He has to keep progressing and continue to put together multiple years of being a good quarterback before he can start to change my tune on him. Next up, you got the other New York team, the New York Jets. The media's darling this season because they have 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Ayahuasca himself, Garrett Wilson, one of the best up-and-coming receivers in the league. Dalvin Cook signs with them. Most of the Packers, old core, Alan Lazard, sign with him. It's too bad they're going to go 9-8, though. It's too bad they're going to go 9-8. Aaron Rodgers has regressed last season. He regressed last season. Granted, he had a receiving core that led the league in drops last season. But I don't get the hype around the Jets. I don't get the hype. What is the hype around the Jets? What, because they have Aaron Rodgers? Did we all forget that Aaron Rodgers wasn't necessarily good last season and his team went like 6-11? Are we going to forget about that? We're going to forget the fact that the guy's 39 years old and not every single old quarterback can play like Tom Brady like he did when he was 44? Can we just acknowledge that? I think people are going to be wholly underwhelmed by what the Jets do. And if they do good for them. I was wrong. But I think they're a 9-8 team at best. I think that's their sweet spot is 9-8. Because I think the Dolphins are better than them. I think the Dolphins have more potential than them. The Bills are still the best team in the AFC East, despite what everybody's been telling you on ESPN and Fox. Like, I just think that they're a 9-8 team. I don't see them winning. Some people have them winning like 13 games. Who the fuck thinks that? Who the fuck thinks the Jets are going to win 13 games? Come on now. Who thinks that? It's because all these guys are located in New York. That's the only reason why these guys are all so high on the Jets. That's it. That's the only reason why anybody thinks on the media, or anybody in the media thinks that the Jets are going to be good, is because they all are stationed in New York. That's it. That is it. But the Jets are going to go 9-8. They're not that great of a team. Aaron Rodgers has regressed from what he used to be. I mean, we can be honest. Let's be honest about it. All right. All right. Now we have Jimmy G's Las Vegas Raiders. I'm gonna put them 7-10. I think Jimmy G benefited from Kyle Shanahan's offense. I think that, you know, I don't see them being that successful this season. I don't. I think they're gonna go 7-10. Josh Jacobs is back. You still have Hunter Renfrow. But I mean, outside of that, who else do you have? Devontae Adams is still there. But I mean, you saw what happened with Derek Carr as his quarterback too, and I still think Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Jimmy G. Yeah, I think they're going to go 7-10. I don't see the Raiders having that much success this season. Next up, you got EAGLES Eagles. No surprise. They're going to go plus 13 wins. I think they're going to go probably same thing as the Bengals, 13-4. Immense talent. Defensively, they're a powerhouse. A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, adding DeAndre Swift. Legitimately, their entire defensive line is the Georgia Bulldog defense. Getting the Kobe Dean last season, I think, was a steal. Letting Jalen Carter fall down to number 8 for the frickin' Eagles to get. Are you kidding me, NFL teams? Really? You bought into that report about him, being lazy? You let frickin' Jalen Carter drop down to the Eagles. God damn it. But now, yeah, they're going to be the powerhouse in the NFC. I see them coming out of the NFC pretty easily. I don't see any other team really competing against the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl from the NFC. Like I said, I have the Eagles and the Bills going to the Super Bowl. I think the Bills can do it. We'll see. Next up, you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers. All the Yinzers are going to be mad at me because they're going 7-10. They're going 7-10, buddy. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go 7-10, buddy. Kenny Pickett's not that great of a quarterback. I'll say it again. Kenny Pickett's not that great of a quarterback. You have been drudging up Kenny Pickett for so long. And he is a mid quarterback. He is a mid quarterback. He is not that good of a quarterback at all. He's not a good quarterback at all. I think he is a game manager. He is a guy who will be a solid quarterback for you for like 6 years. You can re-sign him all you want. You can re-sign him. They're probably going to re-sign him after his rookie contract's up because it's the Steelers. They don't want to go through a QB carousel. But let's be honest here. He's not going to be any better than what Baker Mayfield was in Cleveland. He's not. I don't see him as any better than Baker. Say what you want in the chat. You want to get mad at me? Say what you want. But let's be honest here. The Steelers, think in your heart, truly. Don't let your heart as a Browns fan or whatever. Think with your brain. Think with your brain. Can you seriously tell me that Kenny Pickett and the Steelers are going to finish better than the Cleveland Browns or the Baltimore Ravens? And don't give me this whole notion about, oh, well, Mike Tomlin has never gone under 500. Okay, cool. Nice things don't last all the time. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't have that great of a quarterback. I don't care what happens in training camp. I don't care. Training camp, you should not put that much emphasis on training camp because they're playing each other. It's a glorified scrimmage. That's it. It's a practice that fans can watch. That's it. And some people are like, oh, wow, he looks a lot better. I don't care. Same thing with preseason. Who gives a shit what they do in the preseason? Like, Kenny Pickett can go up against the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, he torched the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, cool. Literally, 24 other teams in the league can torch the Falcons. You're not... like, come on. Oh my God, did you see what Kenny Pickett did to the Atlanta Falcons defense? He looks so good. He looks so good. The Atlanta Falcons are probably going to go 5-12. Of course he's going to look good. They suck. They suck. Of course the Atlanta Falcons are going to do good. Or he's going to look good against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons suck. They're going to go 7-10. They got good talent. Yes. Najee Harris. George Pickens. Pat Fryermuth. The other guy they just drafted. The other tight end they just drafted is a fucking beast. Just gargantuan of a dude. TJ Watt. Cam Hayward. Minka Fitzpatrick. Yes, they got some talented guys on their roster. But their quarterback is not good. It's the same thing with what we have with Baker. You can have all the talent that you want, but if you have a mediocre quarterback, you're not going to do that well. It's just the thing. It's what it is. They're going to go 7-10. They could probably go 9-8, but I don't think they're going to finish better than the Browns. And I think people who have the Browns finishing last below the Steelers are absolutely freaking nuts. All right, let's read some of the chat here. Sweet Chris and mine, do you think Myles Garrett can lead the league in sacks this season with an improved defensive line? I think he can. It's all down to what TJ Watt does, because I think TJ Watt can go off for 20 sacks. The problem with Myles, the problem with Myles is that he starts out really hot. The first 8 games of the season, he can go for 10 sacks. But then when you get to the last 8 games of the season, he gets 4. He gets tired. That's the problem with Myles Garrett. So I think he can. He should. I think he has the capability to be the sack leader. But for some reason, I don't know why, he fizzles out at the end. Plus, also, I definitely think the Browns have a lot more talent on the defensive line. So I think a lot of guys on the defensive line might take away sacks from Myles. So, you have Obo Okoronkwo. That's his bread and butter, is sacking the quarterback. So Darius Smith, I think those guys are going to get theirs. So they may take some sacks away from Myles, too. So that's my thing. All right, Steelers are going to go 17-0 in terms of being the most boring team to watch. Yeah, probably. Probably. B Scrolls, Kenny Pickett has not been Roethlisberger. Sorry, Steelers fans, and Steelers 8-9. Yeah, I mean, they could go 8-9. They could. But I don't understand this whole... Oh my God, Kenny Pickett, did you see what he did against the Atlanta Falcons? He looks so good. Okay, yeah, cool. Anybody can be good against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons suck. Sorry, C. Sorry, C. I know if you're in the chat, if you watch this on demand, I'm sorry for trashing your team, but it's true. Okay, it's true. The Falcons suck. The Falcons suck. Okay? All right, but let's continue on. We have the last 5 teams here. We'll get on with the stream here. San Francisco. I don't know how to feel about San Francisco because Brock Purdy is probably going to be the starting quarterback coming off the torn UCL. Sam Darnold's their backup. Their defense is insane. I'll put them above Dallas. I'll leave them right behind Buffalo, but I think they could go 12-5, 11-6. I think 11-6 is what I'm more comfortable with. So I think they're definitely going to go 11-6. That defense is just insane. It's insane. That defense is insane to go up against. Especially with Trump's mugshot, Nick Bosa is going to go all out for the 45th president. He's got his MAGA rage, so it's going to be scary to go up against him early on in the season. With Nick Bosa's, he's going to have Trump's mugshot in his locker room to give him motivation to be angry before every game. But yeah, what do you call it? I think the San Francisco 49ers are still going to be a good team to watch. Um, Next up, you've got the Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith, Jackson Smith and Jigba being their draft pick. Tyler Lockett's still there. DK Metcalf. Question mark right now is Geno. Does Geno still have it in him, or is it a 1-year wonder? And let's not forget the Seahawks were not that great of a team record wise. Let's remember that. All right, they finished 9-8. They weren't like some world beating team. I think they're going to do the same thing this season. I'm going to put them at 9-8. All right. Same thing with the Baltimore Ravens and the Jets and the Chargers probably. And the Lions. They're probably going to go 9-8. I think Geno's going to be decent. I don't think he's going to be the same as what he was last season. And I think they're going to be decent due to the fact that they have talent. Now, if they have to go with Drew Lock, then they're screwed. They're screwed. But I feel like they can go back to 9-8. That's what I definitely feel like they can do that. Next up, you've got the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill, probably his last season with the Titans. Derrick Henry being grounded into dust because he has to run the ball 50 times. I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to put them in probably 10 wins. I think they're going to go 10 wins. I think they're going to vie with the Jaguars for that defensive or the division win, but I don't see them doing much. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think it's the Jaguars to win. Actually, no. You know what? I might put them down. I'm putting them down one. I think they're going to go 9-8 again. I don't trust Tannehill. I think he's starting to go down. I think Tannehill's starting to go down. And I just don't see the Titans winning this division. I don't. I think it's the Jaguars to win. And I think this is probably going to be the last season for Ryan Tannehill. I think Derrick Henry is probably going to have 1 or 2 more seasons left in him, and I think they're going to go for a rebuild in the next couple of years. That's what I think is going to happen. Next up, you've got Tampa Baker Bay. Baker Mayfield's new stomping grounds. Going into the shadows of Tom Brady. Ooh. People might get mad at me. People may get mad at me. Six and 11. 6-11. I do not trust Baker Mayfield. I don't. I don't think anybody should trust Baker Mayfield anymore. He will show up and have 2 or 3 good games. He will have 2 or 3 good games. But he is not a guy you should trust at all. If you are trusting him as your starting quarterback, you should not trust him. You can't. You cannot. There is no reason for why you should trust Baker Mayfield to give you more than 6 wins. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he will have 2 or 3 games where you will go, man, that looks like the old Baker. That looks like the Baker from 2020. That looks like the Baker from 2018. That's pretty good. That is it. I think he's going to struggle. I don't think he's going to be all that well. This is probably going to be Mike Evans' last season because the contracts negotiations have stalled. Chris Godwin's been injured. They have a guy, Trey Palmer, that they like. They they seem to like a lot down there. But if you're going to ask me, do you trust Baker Mayfield to get you, over the hump? No, I don't. And that's sad. It sucks to say that. Baker going 17-0 this year. Fuck it, yeah. All those, what do you call it? Baker Bros on Twitter who became Carolina and Rams fans last season. Now they're Tampa Bay Bros. Baker's turning into the QB you hire when you want the number one pick the next year. Now, I don't think he's that bad, Justin. I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he's gone that far yet, but he's slowly. What sucks is I feel like he's slowly turning into like the Andy Dalton of the world of the league, where they used to be good enough to get you to the playoffs, and then now if you really want to suck, you just put them as a quarterback. The worst part though is that, like, Andy Dalton had continued success and consistently made the wild card. He just can never win. He can never win. He can never get over the hump of the wild card. Baker Mayfield has only done it once. I don't know. Like I said, 6-11. That's my Baker Mayfield Tampa Bay prediction. But here we go. The last team of the prediction table. The last prediction in the final moments of the first ever episode of the Coming Off the Bench podcast. The Washington Commies, the Commanders. Oh boy. Jacoby Brissett, Sam Howell, Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson. They got some good guys. Got some good pieces. I still think they're going to go 7-10. I think they're going to go 7-10. I don't see them being a great team. I think they're going to finish last in the NFC East. I think that they are a couple years away from being a legitimate threat. They need another quarterback. Now that Dan Snyder and his crap is gone, I think now they can probably focus on more of the football aspect instead of saving themselves with the PR. Yeah, I don't see them being competitive this season. I don't see them being good this season. I think they're going to be in the middle of the pack, mediocre, 7-10, and that's just what I think they're going to do. But there we go, guys. That is my prediction tier list for how many wins the teams are going to have. Make sure you guys want to hear what you guys think in the comments and the chat. What do you guys think? Am I right? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? I don't know what you guys think. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. All right. Also, if you guys are feeling extra generous, my Cash App is down here. You also can do super chat, super thanks. Anything will be able to help out, greatly upgrade the quality of content here on this channel. Thank you guys so much for coming out here and supporting the stream and supporting my channel. Like I said, make sure you guys are subscribed. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, okay? We're going to have a lot more content here later this week. We got, predictions coming up Wednesday. Prediction time, baby, is coming back Wednesday. Going down to the Browns game next Sunday for the Browns-Bengals game. Going to be doing a vlog from there. We're going to be doing a post-game reaction probably from down there. Also, I needed to ask you guys, do you guys want to have a pregame stream on Sunday mornings before the NFL games start? I asked that question previously in the episode, in the stream. But if you guys do want pregame streams for the NFL games before they start on Sunday mornings, let me know down in the comments section in the chat. All right, let me know. I'll do a poll a community post poll as well, just to get you guys your guys' feedback. But that has been something I've been interested in doing. But yeah, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments section below. And I'll put a community post up and a poll up, so I'll get your guys' feedback on that too. But yeah, definitely am interested in doing that. But we got a lot of content that is on hand that we'll be definitely doing.